right, everybody. I told you we'd be back, and we are. We're back here at Origins Game Fair 2018 in beautiful Columbus, Ohio. Of course, Weather Channel says this is going to be the only beautiful day.
UL. That's all right. We're inside.
And we're inside. Where it's a balmy 72 degrees, and it's amazing. I've got Maggie and Chris here from Greater Than Games. How y'all doing?
Good.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us what you're all about.
All right. So I'm Maggie. I am the marketing manager for Greater Than Games. I started with the company really recently, and the company was formed itself in 2011, and then we acquired Dice Hate Me Studios, which is where Chris Kirkman came from. And since then, we've put together many fabulous games, and this is one of our upcoming games, Legends of Sleepy Hollow.
Very cool. So, Chris, tell us about yourself. What's your background?
Well, I founded Dice Hate Me Games in 2011. We had our first Kickstarter in 2011, which at the time was the 5th highest funding, which at $32,000, if you can believe that.
That's crazy.
Now it's like drop in the bucket.
Right.
But you had to start somewhere. We merged with Greater Than Games, like she mentioned, in 2015.
Okay.
And then we have been basically pulling the library of Dice Hate Me Games together with the great products from Greater Than Games, and now we're just doing all kinds of great stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you guys have brought The Legend of Sleepy Hollow with you today. So go, please tell me and us, all you out there, everything about it.
Okay, sure. So in Legends of Sleepy Hollow, basically this is the sequel to Washington Irving's short story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And the legends refer to mostly the 4 townsfolk that are from Sleepy Hollow and Tarrytown that have banded together to find Ichabod. So Ichabod's gone missing, and lots of whispers of strange things around town have happened. Of course, the ghostly tale of the Headless Horseman has been told. So they have set forth to try to find out what's happened to Ichabod.
Okay.
The game itself is a campaign-based game, but more of a casual campaign-based game that has a flexible exterior, so very modular. There's 8 different chapters in the story, which basically you'll play through as the individual 4 characters in the game itself. The 4 characters that we have here that have banded together, Jeremiah Pinka is the town undertaker. He is very soft-spoken, but he's also a hulking man. And he carries a giant spade, and he uses it very well.
He looks taller than all the others.
Oh, yeah, he's big.
He's a big guy.
He's a big guy. Now, one thing, before we get into the rest of the characters, I'll explain about the standees. These are, all this is just prototype.
Oh, okay.
We'll actually have miniatures. We've already sculpted those.
Nice.
We'll have those in production. Paintable miniatures,
Ooh.
Absolutely. But the art, you can see here, done by Abigail Larson, is fantastic.
Yeah, they're amazing.
And even the standees, we think they look great, too. So Jeremiah Pinka is the town undertaker. He's kind of the tank.
Okay.
He has to get into the scrum, so to speak, because he's a range of 1. He's got to get in there and just spade everybody up.
Okay.
He's whacking these. We'll talk about the bad guys here in a second,
right.
the foes. We also have Matthias Guru, who's a Revolutionary War hero. Matthias moved to Sleepy Hollow shortly after the war. Not much is known about Matthias. Very kind of elusive, an introvert. They come to Matthias because they need some firepower.
Sure.
Matthias carries twin flintlocks and has a lot of area effect kinds of things. Can blast into squares, and it's very fun to play.
I love it. I love his look too. It's like that tricorn hat.
Oh yeah.
Or
it's
a side
it's the field.
Oh,
It's the Revolutionary War field hat. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah.
Man.
It's so much fun. We've got Emily Van Winkle, who has a famous cousin, Rip, but doesn't come into play in this story.
Okay.
But anyway, Emily is the tanner's apprentice. Her father's the tanner for the town. And so she's grown up in the outskirts, sort of in the woods, and has learned hunting and tanning and things like that. She's very proficient with a bow.
Okay.
She has lots of range, and also she's very consistent with the amount of damage she's able to deal.
Nice.
We also have Elijah Kappel. He moved here from the Deutschland before the Revolutionary War. Unfortunately, lost his family during the Revolutionary War and wandered in the wilderness for quite a while. Has come back and is now part of like the kind of the spiritual advisor of the town.
Okay.
He bands together and he fights using his faith. And he has a large range, but he has more healing abilities, but he also has a couple of smite abilities. So
well, it looks like he carries a big stick.
He definitely carries a big stick. That's his walking stick that channels his faith, and he's able to use that very proficiently.
Nice.
He whacks people with it. It's great.
He does. He pokes them in the eye.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. So those are our 4 main characters. Those are our legends. They've banded together for various reasons. They also have a larger backstory that you can read when you get into the game itself.
Okay.
And what they have found here, this is Chapter 1 laid out on the table right now.
Okay.
And Chapter 1 begins at the schoolhouse where Ichabod taught. And we find out through, we have a storybook that chronicles different chapters. So I'll lay that right there. Probably, maybe see it. But anyway, there we go.
We're gonna write
yeah. So that's a preliminary one. that tells the beginning of the story and basically lays the story out for chapter by chapter. And essentially what's happening in Chapter 1 is they've all banded together to come in, and they've got to find 2 journals. One is Ichabod's journal, one's the student's journal. I'm not going to spoil much else because there's a lot of secrets in this game.
All right.
But essentially what they have to do is by moving through the different rooms, they'll try to take out what is happening in here. So we have 2 different foes that have shown up now. They figured out that, okay, all of a sudden there is something supernatural going on. We have Shriek Roots, which are animated kind of tree creatures.
Okay.
And we have Gobkins, which are pumpkins with vines that have become animated and are self-propelling. Gobkins.
All right.
Yeah. So essentially during your turn, it's very easy. Each individual character has a playboard. Now, this is just a prototype. There'll be actually 3 nested where everything will kind of sit in different wells.
Okay.
We also have the health tokens here, but the miniatures on the final game we built something together with the Panda Plastics team that has a snappable base with a turnable damage ring.
Sure.
So each individual character and foe will have trackable damage instead of dice and things on their player boards. But essentially, it's based around the action mechanic. And you select an action, which is one of the 3 base actions or one of the skills that are on each individual player board. And as you do that, let's say that like Emily here wanted to do the kill shot. She could choose to move, or she can do that and move. She does 5 damage. It just so happens the Shriek Root has 5 health. She can take a Shriek Root out in 1 shot with the kill shot. But these individual more advanced skills that they have, they can only be used once until they have a player board refresh.
Oh, wow.
So once this is used here, not until the beginning of her turn and she has no more in her action pool can she use anything else. At that point, she would have a refresh. They go back to the action pool. And she can use those again. A little bit of a power-up mechanic that you see in some.
Right, but it doesn't allow that character to just go and shoot, kill shot everybody.
Exactly.
Every time.
So you got some choices to make and when you want to do opportunity attacks on those. The main mechanic that's kind of cool about this game, though, is fear. So since we're against supernatural objects, let's say Jeremiah is in here facing a Shriek Root. Shriek Root has a basic attack of 1 die, which we have these little pumpkin dice here. They have different pumpkin faces on them, but they go from 1 to 3 or 0, 1 to 3. And basically, he would attack. So let's say he did this. Well, he's rolled 2 pumpkin faces. So now the Shriek Root has dealt 2 damage to Jeremiah. Jeremiah actually wears a heavy cloak, so he's got a +1 defense. So he's going to soak one of those. But he would take a hit point of damage. And because he was attacked by a supernatural being, he's going to gather fear.
Oh, wow.
Fear goes into the action pool. And it makes it harder and longer until you can refresh. So now it can be used as a basic action, not as an advanced skill. You use it as a basic action, but now instead of he's got 5, it's going to take 6 action turns before he can refresh and get his things back. And fear will start to gum up as you play through the game.
And that when you said that you're going to have the turn token or turn dial on the bottoms of the miniatures, is the fear going to be a...
Fear will always be a physical thing because you'll be able to place it and use it as an action token. And also you can clear it much easier. And fear and health can be taken care of through a rest action, or Elijah's got a blessing that can help to remove fear and to instill confidence, things like that.
All right. That's cool.
And that's the basic gist of the game. I mean, in the Chapter 1, essentially you're going to go and take environment actions, try to keep the foes from getting out of control. You'll be flipping over these tokens to see what they have out of the Legends deck. This have either going to find items or certain events that are going to happen during the game. And you play through until, at least in Chapter 1, until you find 2 journals and take it to the desk, do an environment action, and then you see what happens. And I'm not going to spoil what happens.
All right.
But it's exciting.
But it's pretty cool.
It's really cool. Yeah.
So Chapter 1 is just a schoolhouse. Is that the core chapter, or is there multiple chapters in the...
chapters in the base. 8 chapters in the base game, yes. And every one of them have, well, with the exception of one, there is one map that's reused twice. So 7 different maps in the base game, one of which takes up 2 of these.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, and that's
It's sprawling. It's huge. It's a gargantuan project.
Will it always be the same monsters or same villains?
I mean, you'll see the Gobkins and Shriek Roots quite often, but there are more surprises in the box. Yeah.
All right, I have a few more questions.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Will it only be the 4 legends?
Well,
or are there others that may come and go?
Yes and no. That's a great question. The core legends, yes, there will be the 4 in the box. There may be surprises for the legends as their stories progress. So let's put it that way. Now, the main thing that's cool about the legends is they also have at the end of each chapter, you'll actually get some upgrades. And so
Okay.
you have to decide how you use those upgrades.
Mhm.
Once you've decided about an upgrade, the other upgrade goes away. So it's a way to kind of craft your character as you go through the campaign.
Okay.
For instance, Jeremiah, he can either, when he gets an upgrade, he's got a different cloak, which gives him more health,
Okay.
or he can actually take a quick smash, which can replace one of his skills here, like say practice smash, that
Mhm.
requires 2 action tokens to place on it, which can help
Okay.
him refresh faster.
Oh wow.
So he can become he can go more of a fast route, kind of berserker route, or he can be more of a tank.
Okay.
Everyone's got various things that they can do that have like kind of a tech tree snake as
And
they go through.
Will a character only be allowed to have 2 items on their?
Eventually, they'll be able to unlock a 3rd slot,
Okay.
and then you'll have a wide array of advanced skills to
Okay.
use.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. And when is this game going to be out and available?
We are hoping right now to deliver to our Kickstarter backers in December, which was
Okay.
our projected date. I would imagine that it will be available to the public. If we match that date, we'll be available to the public in January 2019.
Yeah.
Perfect.
At least that's our hope.
With miniatures and all the fun
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
The box is big, and it's filled
Okay.
with not secret compartments, but you know,
Yeah.
tuck boxes and
Sure.
things that people can't, predict.
All right.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what else do we have over at Greater Than Games going on?
So we also have an RPG, which we've showed to you guys before.
Yep.
Our starter kit is already out, so
Mhm.
it plays through the aftermath of Oblivion, which is a big cataclysmic event in the Sentinels of the Multiverse universe.
Mm-hmm.
So the starter kit's available, and we are kickstarting the core rulebook come January of next year.
Okay.
So that'll be upcoming, and on June 19th, we're going to start a live stream process where we're live streaming the RPG.
Nice.
Me and several other people from Greater Than Games have created characters, and we will be playing through as a super team against a very bad thing that Christopher has made up for us, the creator. So
Sounds amazing.
yes, that's something that we're
Yes.
very excited about. Yeah.
So make sure that you guys are tuning in to Greater Than Games on their social media. Is it going to be on a Twitch channel? It's
Greater
on
Than
Twitch?
Games on Twitch.
Okay, and that's where you'll be able to watch the RPG. That's pretty awesome. If you want to find out more about Greater Than Games, where can they go?
They can go to greaterthangames.com would be
Okay.
one option, or check any of our social media. It's very active. I'm
Very
a social
active.
media person, so it's very active. So we keep that up
Okay.
to date all the time.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys for coming in and joining us and showing us this amazing game.
Thanks for having us.
It is gorgeous. I love historical things, anyways, and the look is just fabulous.
Well, thank you. We've worked really hard with Abigail Larson, Cassina. We got a lot of great artists on team. It's been fun. And Matt, we'll just mention Matt Riddle and Ben Pinchback designed this. I've been designing the world with it,
Okay.
with them, but they're fantastic.
All right.
We love all their stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
We're definitely going to try and live stream a full game while we're here,
Yeah.
right?
Hopefully.
Of chapter
That would be
1.
awesome.
So,
Yeah.
so if you're interested,
That would be
you
fun.
could be on it.
Okay, let me know
Yeah.
when.
There you
I
go.
will.
All right, yeah. Other than that, everybody, make sure you go to GTM giveaway for the big prize pack contest, the surprise contest, where we're getting a bunch of games thrown into a big package, and someone's going to win it, and it's going to probably be a lot in shipping for us to get it to you, but we'll do it. And so GTM giveaway for that, and also Carolina Game Tables, thank you so much for letting us use this amazing streamer
This is great.
all weekend here at Origins. Make sure you stay tuned to us right here on Facebook and YouTube, whichever one is the channel you prefer, whatever platform you like. And we will be back real soon for another great interview. Thank you so much.